Maneet, how are you?
Oh my God, Brooke, it's so nice to see you. We haven't seen each other since the finale.
I know, and you look just as beautiful today as you did that day. It's so
For my ego.
it's so lovely to see you, and I'm so excited to get to talk to you. I'm so excited that it's us that gets to have this conversation today.
I know. They are like it was such a blur at the finale that we really didn't get to spend time talking. So I'm really excited about this.
I know, right? So let's catch up a little bit.
Can you believe it? I mean, the fact that we said yes to TOC again.
I know, right? The insanity that is us.
I think to me, I felt that I left something incomplete last year, and I really wanted to give it another shot. And I think that was one of the biggest reasons. But I think in the end of the day, it's so exciting. It's that rush of when the clock starts, right? When you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I think that's what it is. Why did you come back?
Well, now that you put it that way, I guess the reason I came back was pure insanity. Right? I mean, technically, I had nothing to prove after last year except for the fact that maybe it was a fluke and that I could do it again. It's really just an honor to be there. So.
That's so true. I mean, the first time that all of us, the 16 of us, are standing in that room in front of Guy. I mean, I'm just looking around and literally questioning, why am I doing this? I mean, it can be anybody's game. Everybody is such a heavy hitter that it is absolutely crazy. And then, of course, there's the randomizer, which is the great equalizer, which is like, I have nightmares of the randomizer. I'm like literally crazy.
Okay, well, now that you bring up the randomizer, let's go back to the beginning of our battle together. When Guy said 3, 2, 1, go, and that randomizer had already determined what we were going to do. What was the first thing that went through your head?
You know, for the first time, Brooke, to tell you the truth, I completely froze. I am very good at, when I see something in front of me, I'm very good solving the puzzle and knowing what direction I'm going to go in. I actually really, really froze. And the third element, I did not get to till the last 10 minutes.
Which one?
Because that was the frozen ceviche, right? I did not get to it till the last 10 minutes because it hadn't clicked in my mind. What were you thinking when the clock started?
No, I totally agree. I completely froze as well, and I think I wasn't expecting in any way, shape, or form langoustine. That's really what threw me off the most, the langoustine. And I really underestimated the amount of time that langoustine takes to prepare and, not even prepare, but to clean. You know, it's a very difficult protein to clean. So many other proteins, you can butcher it and it's right there. But this is something that you have to get out of the shell. You have to extract the flavor. A lot of the flavor is in the shells. And, I think the one ingredient 3 ways really threw me. And having to use that langoustine in 3 ways, and just not having time to do all of the things I wanted to do, and I think that's what threw me off the most.
Yeah, I mean, it was langoustines, fresh wasabi, which is beautiful. It was ingredient 3 ways, and
did we have liquid nitrogen?
Liquid nitrogen. That completely threw me off because I have never used liquid nitrogen before. So to me, that was one thing I was struggling with because I didn't know how much to add, and apparently whatever I was adding was not enough. So I kept on going back and adding, and it was just like ridiculous.
Yeah. Strangely, the liquid nitrogen didn't throw me off because to me that's just freezing something. But yeah, there were so many other elements that threw me off, and I think I bit off more than I could chew at the end of the day. And I looked at your plates when the time was up. I looked at your plates, and you had made bisque, and I thought to myself, I just went through all of the steps bisque by eating my lobster to make a hollandaise, and then ended up breaking my hollandaise, and thought to myself, why didn't I just make a bisque? I literally could have thrown this stuff in a blender and made a soup, and I like needed to make life more complex than it needed to be.
I think we are very good at that, making our life more complicated. To me, the bisque, like literally, I took the langoustines, threw it in the pot, took a wooden ladle, and like, especially because with langoustines, most of the flavor is in the head. Like I was just smashing it, and I'm like,
Really?
blending it and straining it. But with all of that, I still. In all honesty, I do not recall my plate at all right now. Right? I don't. Like, I have no idea what I did, what I presented, and it was amazing. But Brooke, I've got to tell you, I have a question for you. Right? You are so incredible in competitions. Like, you are the OG. First of all, I was like so intimidated going up against you. I'm like, okay, I made it till the finale. This is better than what I did last year. This is it, because nobody can take on Brooke, because you are like, it's a proven track record, right? So tell me, what is the secret? What is the secret of you being like so badass in competitions?
First of all, thank you. It's a very strange talent to discover that you have, right? You're obviously very good at competition cooking as well, and who even finds that out in their lives? Like, you have to be put into very specific situations to even figure that out. But I think that I have a pretty wide knowledge of ingredients. I've been cooking for a long time, as have you, and I think that understanding ingredients, being able to complete a dish in your head under very stressful circumstances. I lived in general in a very high state, and so when I'm able to step into an arena where food is the focus, it's actually where I feel comfortable, and the least stress my life is when all I have to do is focus on the food. And it's not really a real life skill, but no, thank you, I appreciate it. Apparently you are very good at it too, making it to the quarterfinals last year, and then winning it all year. Do you feel like anything that you did last year helped you this year?
You know what, this is the one thing which I kept on saying through the competition, right? This is not one of those exams that you can stay up all night and study and pass, right? This is a culmination of your entire life's work. It's training. It's the fact that you are forever a student. It's the fact that you're learning every day from anything and anybody that you come across. So to me, it was, I thought that coming into the competition, I would be much better prepared, in the sense that I've done it before. How difficult is it going to be as opposed to last year? I think it was a lot more difficult, because last year we entered, it was a blank canvas. We had no idea what to expect, and we rolled with the punches. This time we walked in knowing what to expect. We knew the dread of the randomizer was already there. So I think it was tougher. And I think one of the biggest things was cook your food. Like, just be who you are, as opposed to knowing who you are cooking against and cooking their style of food, because that will never get you to win. So right. I think that was a big learning for me from last year. Like, this is who I am, this is my food.
Yeah,
and that's it. So tell me something. Like, I think one of my favorite parts of TOC this year was was Food Network and Guy giving like $10,000 to restaurants that we were competing for, and it pushed me to push myself a little bit harder. I mean, have you heard back from any of these restaurants who you've like won for, and like, what's the reaction been?
Several friends of mine, 3 people in Los Angeles and 1 in New York, when they all that they had $10,000 coming to them during one of the most difficult moments of their entire careers. They were all in tears, and it made all of the stress worth every moment, and it really just brought a whole new meaning to what we were doing. And I think that it was so beautiful. To me, that was the most beautiful part of the whole competition. To go into a completely different subject, I am constantly reading comments and see it firsthand about your style. And I will say, like, this femininity and beautiful flair to the competition, not only with your spirit and your positive attitude, but with your and your makeup and your earrings. You always look like 1,000%. I remember walking on set being blinded by your sparkles and wondering if that was a form of distraction.
That was the strategy, Brooke. That was the strategy. It worked, right?
I mean, this obviously plays a part in who you are in showcasing your personality, is your style, right?
I'll tell you what. It started off with me finally reaching that stage where I am very comfortable with who I am, right? There were a lot of norms which were set for us, like women can't be in the kitchen, right? This is who I am. I am a woman. I am excited to be a chef, plus, wear my earrings, wear my bling, because this is who I am. And in terms of the jackets, these are jackets which I get from India. This is embroidery, which is from different regions of India. These are, fabrics from different regions of India. So the fact is, I am proud of where I am. I am proud where I have reached. I am proud of the tough journey that it has been. And I am now going to flaunt it. It's beyond that. It's beyond that bling. It's beyond that bedazzle. It boils down to, this is who I am, and I have covered that journey that I am not going to hide from who I am. So to me, it's a huge thing, right? Like, especially growing up in India, where you are expected to be one of, just to blend in. To me, to have that ability and courage to stand out it's a huge personal moment for me, and I flaunt it. So it's beyond the color. It's beyond the bling. It is who I am, and I'm proud of that.
It showcases such confidence, and what a wonderful way to set an example for, seriously, to be able to be who they are and be proud of it. And I love it so much. I really do.
Okay, so tell me something.
Mm-hmm.
How was season 2 different from season 1 for you? Do you think that there was added pressure from everybody, including yourself, given the fact that you were, number 1 seed?
No, I don't feel like it was that different. It was maybe more fun because I felt like I knew everything a little bit better, and I was just excited to be back in that kitchen. It's a really exciting place to be. It's very, very nerve-wracking. Leap for the entire competition. Who do you feel like was your toughest competitor this season, even if it was not me?
Oh my God, it definitely was you. But I think it started off with, there were so many unknowns, like starting from Madison. I have judged him, right? He's a chop champion, so I knew that he had all of these things under his sleeves, and then to proceed on to go again against Christian, that was a mind game which I was really worried about, because I knew, Christian has like his entire, like, he's got like this really solid handle on flavors, and of course we joke, like he keeps on like pulling my leg on the entire fact, like he's like, oh, like, you took me down again, and and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I love you. I know that's the toughest part about competing. against friends. But
Yeah.
I think also in terms of food, it boils down to the fact that all of us respect each other, respect the skill that each other gets to the table, which makes it really incredible. But to me, I mean, and then Darnell has been this like silent.
He's terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I didn't know that. And then like when they said that, I mean, like I won, and then I'm like, God, okay, this is it. Like to me, I thought with that Darnell winning, it was going to be a full stop. Like even when we were standing over there looking at each other, and Guy was, you know, that dreaded moment when Guy was going to announce the winner. I had walked up, I had called up my husband and said that I think I have reached where, you know, I've done better than last time. That was my goal. Even though I kept on, I know I kept on doing that entire trash talk. Like every time you were walking down with a belt, like, "Hey, Brooke, I'm taking that." But that was that false bravado that I was showing, that I need to show that I am strong. But I did not expect because you like you had reached that, you know, that ultimate threshold of like this is it, this is excellence. And I did not think that I was going to win. Like I mean, I still don't believe that I have. It's like it's that feeling of like, what? No, it's a dream, like, you know, that kind of stuff.
I get it, but I will say, Maneet, that when I handed you that belt, it was because I wanted nothing more than to be the person to hand you that belt, because you so deserved it.
And I hope you realize how much it means to me coming from you. I mean, it is just like, you know, before last year, the first season, I mean, we didn't know each other, you know, that well, being on different coasts, not interacting as much. But what I have seen of you, I mean, it's like I've got the utmost respect for everything that you have done and achieved. And I realize that these are such big shoes to fill. I mean, what advice do you have for me? You know, like you passed on this mantle to me for you know, next year. Like, how do I conduct myself as a worthy DOC champion?
Please, I am not one to give advice to you. You earned that belt, and I likewise, I have the utmost respect for you as well, and I trust that you know exactly what to do with this title and enjoy it, because you know, should you choose to come back again next year and defend that belt, which I am assuming you're going to do, just know that everyone out there wants it, and I think that that's the only advice and motivation that you need. Apparently, they don't last forever.
Oh my God! No, please. You do realize that the crown of being the first TOC champion ever is something that nobody can ever take from you.
I'll keep that forever.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
How's your car? Are you enjoying your car?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, like your truck was like, I remember last year we were all like, oh my God, this is incredible. So I think the perks of winning this tournament is incredible.
It's a fun position to be in. Does your family watch you on TV? Do they have fun, like, watching the whole thing happen?
My daughter, oh my God, she is she's mini me, right? In the sense that, like, you know, we are watching it, and they are like, she's sitting right next to me, and you do know that like she was your biggest fan last year. I think I sent you a couple of videos of her, like,
you had to speak to her right before we went out on stage.
Like, she wasn't rooting for me. She wasn't rooting for me in this competition, I've got to tell you, because she's like, yeah, Brooke is going to get it home again. I'm like, I'm your mom. Like,
you were on FaceTime with her right before we went out on stage, and I think your daughter's the one who got into my head. I think that's what.
I need to use that again next year, don't I? What about you? I mean, your son just celebrated a big birthday.
Yeah,
incredible.
13. I have a 13.
You have a teen.
I have a teenager. I have a 13-year-old, and it blows my mind because I started competing on TV. I did Top Chef when he was 4 years old the first time, and so he's kind of grown up with me doing stuff on TV. He honestly couldn't care less. Is interested in watching. I'm waiting for the day, because I feel like one day he will ask me if we can like sit down and watch all my competition shows together. That's my dream, at least. But you know what? I don't even care, because as long as what I'm doing keeps him inspired and continues to inspire me, then I don't need him to be my biggest fan on TV. I'm a fan, as long as he's a fan of mine in real life. That's what really matters. He still plays video games. Tournament of Champions is off. As long as in a couple of years he wises up and decides to watch it.
That is so true, but that is so incredible, right? Like, think about it. It's the memories. It's the legacy that is being created, and to me, I think it's more special. Especially for my daughter, the fact that, I mean, like, even when we started in our career, I mean, think about it, right? Women chefs were not as popular. Like, I remember, I started my career in India. I was the only girl in a kitchen of around 60 to 70 men, and they thought the only reason I was learning to cook was so that I could make delicious food for my husband, because that's what women did. They were supposed to be married. That's what it was all about. So the fact, to me, I think the bigger thing is that to tell young girls, to tell my daughter, the fact that if you set your mind to anything, that women can achieve whatever they set their minds on. And to me, I think this is even more special, given that this is the second year in a row that a woman has won TOC. I mean,
against another woman.
Yes. I mean, how huge is that?
We've come a really long way since I was at 6 years old, dreaming of doing what I'm doing now, but for the rest of those daughters of this generation to see that 2 years in a row the 4 finalists last year were women, and the 2 finalists this year were women, that gender is really we can take that out of the picture right now in terms of being able to and it's really, I think, really inspiring.
It's so true, and I do think that a lot of this does come down to one of my favorite aspects of the entire competition, which is blind judging. Mm-hmm. Right? The fact that the judges don't know who is behind this dish is so important, and it reminds me of the time when I had just started off in my career, and people would come to the restaurant and they were like, "The chef, can we talk to him?" And I would love to go out, and they would be like, oh, and I'm like, in the end of the day, a chef is a chef. You don't walk into the kitchen and your team doesn't say good morning she chef or good morning he chef. A chef is a chef, and the fact that we still have conversations around the gender is slightly sad.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask you how you felt about the blind judging on a different topic. Apparently, you're a big fan.
I am. I think it is, again, it's a playing field. To me, I do think that this is one of the fairest competitions out there, because, I mean, in the end of the day, we are human beings, right? There is, even though we are as fair as we are, there's always preconceived notions. There is always that, the fact that like, people look at me and they're like, "Oh, she's an Indian chef," even though I have been classically trained. So there is that, the fact that there is a playing field. I think it makes it, I mean, I love the fact. I'm a big fan. What about you? Do you like it?
I mean, coming from you, that says a lot, because you chopped judge for a very long time and judged a lot of people, and I appreciate that sort of candid view of how much blind judging makes a difference. And I think, at the end of the day, who knows if it really makes a difference in the numbers. But I do love that judges have no idea who's food, especially since all the judges really know us, right? On Chopped, you're judging people that you don't necessarily know all the time. But I think most of us did know all of the judges on some level. So to be able to take friendships out of the picture, and who knows if they know who we are based on how we cook, because I think that some of us really showcase who we are in our food, but it does feel like it totally evens the playing field, and I do feel like it's some of the fairest judging on any food TV that existed.
I agree.
Love it, and I love to wait for those scores, regardless of how nervous it makes me. I really love the scoring process.
Oh my God! Yes, it is. I mean, I still feel the dread. Just standing over there, in front of Guy, and he's like, "Okay, who is going to win?" And you're like, "Oh, why am I doing this? My stomach."
I will say that also us not knowing who the judges are going to be takes out the element of being able to cook specifically for someone based on what we think they.
So true. That is so true. Brooke, this was so fun. You know that I can talk with you forever, but this was incredible. Thank you for giving me some of the insights. I'm going to do my level best to make you proud this year and be a worthy, carrier of this belt.
Oh my God. Well, I will say you don't have to do too much to do that, because you are very worthy, and I'm so excited for you, and I'm so as silly as it may sound, I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited that it got to be us, and it was so lovely to get with you today, and I hope that we get to see each other before next year. But if not, I really hope we can see each other again in next year's tournament.
So what do you say? Next year, same place, same time?
I mean, we're suckered for some punishment, right? So I suppose we will probably both be there.
I think we will.
But regardless, let's catch up again another time, because I have so many more things that I would love to talk to you about, but not enough time right now. So it's been such a pleasure talking to you, and good luck with everything that you have going right now. And give my love to your family and your daughter. Tell her thank you for her support. I will need it next year.
Oh my God, absolutely. And wishing you the best too, Brooke, with your work, with your family, with everything. And yeah, I just can't wait to hang with you soon.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, bye.